Whoa, that's the biggest auditorium hearing about tech so far. Literally. Maybe that's because it's our first time, hopefully, right? Let's do a non-boring break, Marco, the king. I'll start with a story. So basically, we ended up on TON. The reason for that we've invested in year 2022. It was early dark days for TON because we were betting on the fact that it would be the blockchain infrastructure of the biggest social independent platform, Telegram. That happens to be the case these days. And while being an investor in the space, we were looking to see how the ecosystem would grow and develop. And we were happy to contribute to that. And that's the reason we started building liquid staking on TON back in 2022, end of it. And the interesting thing about liquid staking is that, you know, first day on the mainnet, you come to the big whale, which has to stake with you, and you pitch him the idea of, you know, staking and liquidity at the same time, that they can get a token they can play around with, and they ask you a question, why would I need it? Like, how would I use the token further down? And there is no utility for the token. And still it's very limited within the TON ecosystem. And that was our start of our product journey. We started building primitives for DeFi. We attempted to build a collateralized stablecoin. And that's where we saw the limits of TON in terms of architecture. And solving this issue, we came to a conclusion that probably we should link the vast EVM ecosystem, meaning applications, founders, and liquidity, which actually can yield the use case. Let's say in DeFi, right? Those primitives are still not there in TON, in essence, because the architecture is different, and you cannot clone the architecture of EVM applications and bring them on board TON. That's, by the way, how 90% of the applications are made. So they evolve, benefiting from the evolution stack, forking existing application and making it better. That's the way evolution and innovation happens within the decentralized app space. So we came to understanding we should bring in the EVM ecosystem on board. And that was just the beginning of it, because we were looking from a perspective of TON stakeholders, basically TON investors who would be looking to use DeFi, to use restaking. But that was only you know, small tip of the iceberg, as I see. Because behind TON, and the most important thing in TON, is the distribution leverage of Telegram. And that's the 950 million monthly active users it has. And getting deeper into the concept, we understand that Telegram and TON solved the issue of a simplified UX. And at the same time, there are no those, the blockchain rails are not there for the EVM application builders and developers to be able to tap into that community. So that's how TAC was born. TAC is an extension network allowing the EVM community to tap into those 950 million users. I'll repeat for the foundational people. TAC is an extension network allowing EVM community, allowing the EVM community to access those 950 million users. It's the extension network. So, you know, the problem we were tackling is still the same. There is no mass adoption of the blockchain chain for a number of reasons. Primary, there is no distribution environment there. Community was built around tech. It addressed engineers who understand the tech from the early days, and people around like early adopters and enthusiasts, and we end up with the degen community. So, and it's literally counts in single-digit millions at best. I believe it's around 2 million. And everyone is within either application or layer, they're tapping into that community. They are trying to incentivize it. But frankly, they just bribe it in. And the way they do that, they're just spending the funding of VCs to do that. And that's happening from one protocol, one application to the other. Another thing is the prohibitive UX. But the reason for that is also clear. When you don't have an incentive to work with a new user and you're incentivizing the degen behavior, and the gen community, that's what you targeted, you just don't care about the use case, the UX. So Ton came up with the solution to that, and they've done the job very well, integrating with Telegram, first of all, making it happen, and integrating the native wallet, which is seamless. It's custodial or non-custodial, you choose it, and it's like single tap onboarding mechanism for crypto. But it lacks those decentralized applications and those primitives which can trigger the user engagement. So not only have to have the UX, not only have to have the distribution, which is probably the most important part, but you have to have the applications and the liquidity there. So now you can engage the user. Because if you don't have applications, you have a lot of the distribution power and a lot of liquidity, but they do not connect. If you have applications without liquidity, it doesn't work as well. So the depths and liquidity, which can facilitate the growth of the, those native solutions, that's what lacks. Here comes TAC. TAC is a Ton network extension. Network extension is very important. It's not layer 2. And it differs in many ways. And it's ironic maybe to say that on the layer 2 day, but that's the fact. That allows the EVM community to access those 950 million users. So from developer perspective, we tried to make the deployment experience as easy as possible. That means that there is a standalone adoption team which takes care of the no change to the code deployment on TAC. We help co-develop, for example, a set of proxy smart contracts if needed. We help to roll out the Telegram mini app and develop it as well. And there is, most importantly, like deployment doesn't need to be audited, re-audited. It's just the same smart contract base. From user perspective, it's what Telegram and Ton have done perfectly well, and the only one who've done it so far, where there is a seamless access to the application within Telegram, and there is no bridges needed, no refuel, and you with TAC, and you use Ton, to pay for transactions triggered on the EVM layer. This is what literally being in front of a billion user look like from our perspective. You put in your favorite application in the app section. You connect your Telegram with a simple click. And then you do what? In this case, you swap. Ton to RC, whatever. That's what happens when it's so easy to interact with. And you store it all within the same wallet. That's how we envision the next UX phase and the next utility trigger within the blockchain space. So the protocol architecture, high level, looks as follows. TAC is a standalone EVM compatible, fully validated layer, obviously where the applications are being deployed in a seamless manner, as I've explained. There is another model, which is the most important part, is the messaging and bridging layer. It is secured by Ton LSTs and TAC native token and fully validated, and it actually serves the purpose of connecting the EVM deployed app with the Ton wallet holder. And the Ton wallet holder, as we've seen on the slide before, can natively, seamlessly access all in app in the form of Telegram mini app. So let's say the user in Ton wants to swap Ton native token into Ethereum, RC20 token, or just the Ethereum. So this highlights how the asset moves. So basically, through proxy smart contract set, which is pretty standard. We help that develop for every application. Goes into the cross-chain messaging and bridging layer, which acts as a vault and mean-burn mechanism on the other side. The rep ton, back on through proxy smart contract set, moves into the application and the liquidity pool. In our case, this is CurveDex example. Returning Ethereum, in turn, which goes into the messaging layer, get stored there on the TAC side, and is minted in the JETON format, which we can call wrapped Ethereum, which goes straight into the wallet of the user on TON side. So this is our traction so far and our plans. We will be live with our testnet in 3 weeks. So apps are welcome to deploy on our testnet. We may be launching not later than Q1 on mainnet. And by the end of the year or early next year, we might be looking to raise a Series A round. This is the team. Myself, our CTO, you can find him within the crowd, not paying attention to the keynote slide. This is Marco, our star growth lead and an OG. We right now expanded into the size of 21, mostly on the tech side, forming the adoption team right now. So we take it very personally, how the dev experience looks like, to make it as seamless as we can in regards to deployment. So we've recently secured the seed round with Hack leading. Primitive, Ton Ventures. We've got the OGs of the Ton space with Michael from the Ethereum space and some reputable VCs as well. And angels from big EVM, TVM apps such as 1inch, StoneFi, the biggest DEX on Ton. And this is what our, the service prop is for devs. We, as I mentioned, we care most about this experience. That's why there is a standalone adoption team working full-time with applications deploying there. On the testnet, obviously, all primitives and the infrastructural applications will be there for the apps to test the environment. And we'll be supporting marketing-wise the team to make that distribution happen. So come get your ton of users, build on TAC. Happy to, get in touch with the team.
Okay, and we're on for our first question. Oh, almost getting front run. Sorry about that.
Hello. Thanks for the presentation. Just wanted to understand a couple of security-related issues regarding Telegram, its ownership, in terms of, with DeFi, the whole concept of distribution and not being beholden to anyone or any entity. How is that being addressed? And second question I have is regarding various countries deciding to, for instance, outlaw or invalidate access to Telegram. How will that impact?
So the beauty of a policy of Telegram, which is important, but less important in blockchain sense, because we are interacting with the blockchain tech being part of Telegram, not Telegram itself. But the beauty of Telegram policy is that they position themselves, luckily for all of us, as a social platform out of US, introducing limitations for the US usage for the users. It's not the full stack. And obviously ex-China. So basically that positions Telegram as a geography non-dependent from the poles of this world social platform. That It has its upsides and downsides, but most importantly, it reduces the risks for everyone building for the infrastructure of it. And that translates into TON, and that translates into everything built around the blockchain infrastructure of Telegram. If it answers your question.
Would you describe other gotchas or issues that your team has thought about, which can cause, basically TON or TAC on Telegram to fall apart?
Do I understand correctly? You're asking what are the risks which we consider critical? There is, I don't see any risks for the decentralized infrastructure and that being TON. Though TON is very heavy reliant on Telegram as its, direct link, and the most powerful leverage of blockchain of TON is actually the distribution of those billion monthly active users, right? So is there a risk that can translate onto Telegram? Some people believe so, according to recent developments, and they get scared of it. Though I think, coming back to the answer to the first question, while Telegram was very smart positioning independent geography-wise, that severely reduced that risk. So basically, there is no violation on the US side, either on messaging side or on the transactional side or investment side, because they had experience with the SEC before, right? So they're aware of it, and they've done it, in a way which is, legally feasible.
Hi, Pavel. Yep, I'm very excited to hear the launch of the TAC. Yeah, but actually I have two questions. The first is, I didn't get the architecture of TAC. So is it deployed on TON as a blockchain, or is a individual EVM chain?
It's individual, fully EVM compatible, standalone validated chain.
Oh.
Part of which is a cross-chain messaging and bridging module, which allows that EVM to be interacted by the TON wallet holder, in short.
Cool. Yeah, very good. And the second question is, when the TAC is launched, will the wallet on Telegram be a multi-chain wallet, or it still remain as a TON wallet?
So basically, every TON wallet holder can interact with the application deployed on TAC.
Mm-hmm.
The beautiful part of it that there is a very seamless in its essence thing, which is called that wallet, which is a custodial version of TON wallet right in Telegram. Mm-hmm. There is also beautiful part to it that there is a non-custodial version of it, which is called TON Space. All of them being integrated in the interface of the messenger. So you can use either or. Being a crypto native, you would probably be using the self-custodial version of it, as they call it. Or if you're the category, which is our moonshot one, you're not aware of crypto, and we DevRel in a sense where we breed those entrepreneurs who build consumer apps, adding value to non-crypto users. Mm-hmm. We believe those will be using the simplest way to onboard and use crypto, meaning custodial wallet of Telegram, which is called @wallet.